Hey Book Dragons, I'm so glad you joined me today. It's time for the annual mid-year freakout tag, and I've got some answers to tell you all about the books that I am freaking out about this year. So we're going to get right to it. Let me put my eyes on here because I do have my list, and I hope you enjoy this. I've got my trusty cat Ari here with me. She's keeping me company and freaking out with me about all the books because, when dad is happy, the cat is happy too. So, all right, here we go. The best book you've read so far, and that would be Shogun. Nothing has displaced Shogun so far this year. Shockingly. I can't compare anything to it. It was that good for me. That's really saying something because it's a historical fiction and I don't always do well with historical fiction. So yeah, that was just a really impressive find for me. Prompt number 2 is the best sequel you've read so far, and that is hands down A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is book 2 in the Shadow of the Leviathan series. The first book is The Tainted Cup. This book was so good, guys. I loved it so much, and I might have even liked it better than The Tainted Cup. It's hard to say, but it was absolutely just as good and possibly even better. That right, Ari? You love it too, don't you? All right, we're going to set that down there. Prompt number 3 is a new release you haven't read yet but want to. Now, this is a new release from last year, and that is The Olympian Affair by Jim Butcher. This is book 2 in the Cinder Spires series, and I'm not really sure why I have not read it yet because I love Jim Butcher, and I really enjoyed The Aeronaut's Windlass, which is book 1 in the series, so I don't know why I haven't read The Olympian Affair yet. I own it, so I guess I should probably read it, right? But that's kind of the story of my life. I buy books and then I don't read them right away. So eventually I will read The Olympian Affair, though. I really want to. All right, prompt number 4 is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And guys, I have 2 anticipated releases for the second half of the year, and I can't pick between them. So I'm just going to do both of them. The first one comes out in September, and that is The Secret of Secrets by Dan Brown. Guys, I'm a huge Dan Brown fan. I love the Robert Langdon series, and this is the newest Robert Langdon book. So I can't wait for that book to arrive at my doorstep because I do have my pre-order in. As soon as I get it, I'm going to be reading it. So that's just a thing. And I will let you guys know as soon as I've read it, and you'll be hearing from me about it. Now, the second one comes out in November. Oh, you're going to get down, are you? Okay, maybe you'll come back. The second one is in November, and that is Empire of the Dawn by Jay Kristoff. This is the final book in the Empire of the Vampire trilogy. And guys, both books 1 and 2 were absolute bangers. I enjoyed both of them equally. I can't really decide which one is better. They're just both excellent. And I can't wait for the conclusion of the series, and I have no doubt it's going to be epic. I have the utmost confidence in Jay Kristoff at this point, even though this is the only series I've read from him. So far, it's been amazing. I hope he sticks the landing, but I have confidence that he will. So I'm excited. And yes, I'm freaking out. Number 5 is the biggest disappointment. Oh man, this was rough, guys. My biggest disappointment this year was The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. I was really disappointed. It started off good. I was enjoying it. It's a collection of short stories set inside a frame story that talks about this man who has illustrations tattooed all over his body, and they move around and they tell different stories depending on the day and who's looking at his skin, So it's interesting, but so many of the stories in here just have not aged well, especially in terms of what we know from astrophysics and astronomy. It just did not work well. And it can be forgiven for being outdated, right? It was written in the 50s. We didn't know as much as we know now, but that really took me out of the story. So I DNF'd this. I just wasn't feeling it, and I did not finish the book. So big disappointment, because I've heard so many good things, and I was really looking forward to reading it. You win some, you lose some, right? All right, so we're going to move on to the biggest surprise. And guys, that's going to be Shogun again. I couldn't think of another book that surprised me more than Shogun did. Knowing the types of books I read and the things I'm interested in, I was just really surprised that it worked as well as it did for me, and it's my book of the year still so far. I haven't topped it, so. Favorite new author? Debut or new to you? So he's not a debut author, but he is new to me, and that is John Scalzi. I've been going down a rabbit hole with John Scalzi's books. I absolutely love his writing style and the kinds of stories he tells. I am there. I'm going to be reading every book that he's written, most likely. I just can't wait to dive deeper into his catalog. He's a new favorite author. Newest fictional crush. I don't have one. Honestly, I haven't encountered a female character in a book this year yet that really just stuck out to me. It's like, oh, that's my type of woman. And I don't know, the fictional crush is kind of a weird question for me anyway. I mean, I do get crushes on fictional characters, so it makes sense, but so far, I haven't had one this year. All right, so newest favorite character is the next prompt. And I have two here. The first one is Hera from Starter Villain by John Scalzi. Hera is a cat, and that's all I'm going to say. You have to read the book. I highly recommend reading the book. Highly recommend reading the book. But I'm not going to say more about Hera. But yeah, she's a new favorite character. And Leftrin from the Rainwild Chronicles. There's some really good characters in the Rainwild Chronicles, but so far I'm really liking Leftrin. He's just such a neat character, quite compelling in so many ways. I just can't wait to see more of his story and see how the Rainwild Chronicles ends. So yeah, I'm there for it. He's a great character. The next prompt on this list is a book that made you cry. And I was trying to think, there weren't a whole lot of books that have made me really cry, but the ending of Upgrade by Blake Crouch definitely left a mark in terms of tearing at my emotions. Just because the ending was so bittersweet. It was a good ending, but it was also a sad ending in so many ways. Especially as a father. That was a tough ending. A really good ending, but very bittersweet. That book definitely made me cry. All right, and a book that made you happy. And I'm going to go back to Starter Villain. That book made me immensely happy. I loved every minute of it. It was such a great story. And then the next prompt is most beautiful book you bought or received this year. And I would have to go with The Android's Dream by John Scalzi. I got this at Phoenix Fan Fusion. I met John Scalzi and he signed it for me. And I don't know much about it, but that's a really pretty book. Look at that. It's just beautiful. I mean, blue is my favorite color, and mixed with the black and then the orangish yellow on the title there, I just think it works really well. So yeah, it's a beautiful book. All right, so we're going to move on to the next prompt, and that is, what book do you need to read by the end of the year? And that's The Expanse, guys. I need to finish The Expanse. I have 3 books left, so I really want to dig in and finish the Expanse series. I'm excited for it. There's a book of short stories as well, so I guess that would be book number 10 in the series. So technically I have 4 books left in the series, I guess, if I count the short story collection. I'll eventually get to the rest of those, hopefully this year, but I do want to finish those. All right, and then the last prompt on here is your favorite video that you've done this year. And I'd have to say that is my Kobo versus Kindle review. I'll leave a screenshot of it right here on the screen somewhere so that you can see it. And I'll also leave it in the cards at the end of the video so you can click on it and go right to it if you want to watch it. But I'm really proud of the research and attention to detail that I put into that video. I think it turned out really well. And it's done pretty well in the algorithm. Not fantastic, but it's done pretty well. I'm really proud of it because I did put a lot of work into it. I feel like I was really clear and concise on my thoughts whether the Kobo is a Kindle replacement or not. So go watch that video. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, but I'm really proud of it. I think it turned out well. So that's the end of this book tag. And I'm not going to tag anybody, but if you're watching this video and you want to talk about books that you're freaking out about for the first part of the year, feel free to do this tag. And if you don't want to do the tag, but you want to tell me some of the books that you're freaking out about this year, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have that dialogue with you. And until next time, guys, make sure that you read more books. And if you want to watch more of my content, remember, there are cards at the end of this video you can click on. Have a great day.